Imagine for a moment that everything you rely on suddenly disappears. The lights go out, your Wi-Fi shuts off, and the internet becomes a distant memory. In an instant, you're plunged into darkness without warning. That's exactly what happened to thousands of people across Europe during the massive blackout. But did you get the full story about what caused it? Was it just a technical failure? Or was there something bigger at play? In this video, we'll uncover what they didn't tell you about Europe's power outage and explore the underlying causes and theories behind it. The blackout started like any other power failure: unexpected, chaotic, and unsettling. On the morning of April 28th, large parts of Europe lost power simultaneously. But what most people didn't know was that this wasn't just another isolated incident. This was the result of a complex set of factors that went unnoticed by the general public. Let's go deeper. First, we need to understand how Europe's electrical grid works. Europe's power system is incredibly interconnected. Electricity is constantly being transmitted from one country to another, and if one part of the system fails, the ripple effects are felt across borders. In a way, Europe's energy grid is like a giant spider web, fragile, interconnected, and highly dependent on the smooth functioning of every single part. When something goes wrong, it doesn't take long before the entire system starts to collapse. The official reason given by many outlets was a simple technical malfunction, a malfunction that shut down multiple power plants across the continent. But here's the thing, that's not the full picture. The issue wasn't just a single failure, it was a series of failures, compounded by issues that had been building up over years. And that's where the theories about what really happened start to get interesting. One of the main causes of the blackout was the issue of energy overload. Europe's power grid has been under immense strain for years. As populations grow, so does energy demand. But the infrastructure hasn't kept up. Power plants that were once reliable and efficient have become outdated and overstressed. Experts have been warning that these power plants are nearing their breaking point. And with little investment in upgrading the infrastructure, it's no surprise that something eventually gave way. But it wasn't just about outdated equipment. There's another big factor at play here: Europe's transition to renewable energy. While renewable sources like wind and solar are vital to reducing carbon emissions, they also pose a challenge to the grid. Unlike traditional power plants, renewable energy sources aren't as reliable. Solar power depends on the weather, wind power depends on the wind, and both are highly variable. This means the grid must rely on backup energy from fossil fuels or nuclear plants to make up for these gaps. However, in times of high demand or poor weather conditions, even those backup sources can struggle. In fact, the grid is designed to operate with a balance of energy coming from various sources. But during the blackout, that balance was disrupted. Renewable energy production was lower than expected, and traditional power plants weren't able to make up for the gap quickly enough. This imbalance led to cascading failures throughout Europe's grid. The entire system was simply stretched too thin. Then, there's the issue of supply chains. Energy shortages are not just a matter of generating electricity. They also involve getting the right resources where they need to go. For instance, natural gas, which many European countries rely on, was in short supply. Imports from other countries, like Russia, had been cut off, and there were delays in securing alternative sources. Without enough fuel, many power plants were forced to shut down or operate at less than optimal capacity. But the question remains, was this just a series of unfortunate events, or is there more to the story? One of the most compelling theories is that the blackout was a warning, a sign that Europe's energy infrastructure is in serious trouble. Experts argue that the current energy system simply isn't sustainable. We've seen a rise in energy prices, blackouts becoming more frequent, and the political instability that comes with energy dependency. These are all signs that the system is fragile and in need of a complete overhaul. Could this be a wake-up call for Europe's energy future? If we don't act soon, we may find ourselves facing more frequent and severe blackouts. This isn't just a matter of upgrading equipment. It's about rethinking how Europe generates, stores, and distributes energy. The question now is, can Europe make the transition to a more resilient and sustainable energy system before it's too late? There are also political theories surrounding the blackout. Some suggest that it could be part of a larger geopolitical struggle, especially with the ongoing energy crisis and tensions in Eastern Europe. Energy is often used as a tool for power, and Europe's reliance on external energy sources makes it vulnerable to disruptions in supply. Could political tensions have played a role in creating the conditions for this blackout? Some experts believe that what we saw was a perfect storm of technical failure, energy shortage, and political instability. The aftermath of the blackout is still being felt today. It raised questions about Europe's energy security, reliability, and how ready we are to face future challenges. Governments are now under pressure to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, but whether they will take the necessary steps remains to be seen. So, what can we learn from all this? The blackout of Europe wasn't just a random accident. It was a clear warning that our energy systems are vulnerable, outdated, and in desperate need of reform. As we continue to push for renewable energy, we need to make sure the infrastructure can support it. The future of Europe's power grid depends on our ability to adapt, innovate, and invest in the technologies and systems of tomorrow. What do you think? Are we prepared for the next blackout, or is Europe heading toward an energy crisis? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into issues like this. Thanks for watching.